Probably after this high science we see this morning, my intervention is more practical. My presentation is very, very practical. I'm sorry for this, and sorry also for my English that is not so fluent, but go directly. I will analyze with you some two cases that happen in freshwater in this case, but something, some application of these systems of geo referencing can be also in the sea. Some of these cases are made in the interest of farmers, some are in the interest of the public health, and some are also related to activities given to me or to other experts by attorney, by Jews during some suspect of illicit activities. So, fish, including the fish we farm, are we call environmental sentinels, guardians of the environment, because they are very sensitive to human activities, especially industry, agriculture, but also sewage treatment plants related to our towns, our where we live. I give you just two cases or something like that. That one is related to the cleaning, that it was related to pollutions or contaminations that have some clinical symptoms in the fish, mortalities, so we can see that something happens in the water upstream the freshwater farm. Some we don't see nothing in the fish. Still, we don't have their slaughter and destination to human consumption. So, what are the risks of contaminations? What is the magnitude of the risk or the impact of the risk of contamination and pollution? We have to take in account different variables: location, water supply, water exchange, the species, and farming system. Trout is more sensitive than carp, for example. Physiology, the life cycle stage or length. The juveniles are more sensitive than the on-growing fishes. The fish consumption, if we can go and see the degree of contamination of a fish, is clearly different if the fish is for restocking, it is for human consumption, direct human consumption, it is after processing and whatever. What are the sources? I just say some words before. Sources of contamination and pollution are zootechnical wastewaters, irrigation, industrial wastewaters, civil wastewaters, sewer leaks, and obviously illicit activities as unauthorized discharges that happens, and so it could be. These sources of contamination and the risk and the variables related to the risk are in this period, these last years, of more importance. Due what? I probably know you have the answer. The climate changes. Climate changes means high temperatures, average temperatures, periods of drought with alternate with periods of very, very heavy rains. So it could cause an higher magnitude of these events, and so better higher ways to contamination and pollution. The types of contaminants could be all microbiological, bacteria, viruses, chemicals, heavy metals, dioxins, industrial processing residues, pesticide residues, drug residues from human and veterinary medicines. Oh, pardon. I don't know what I do. Okay. First case. This case is related to an average area where we will see the area. An area with a high presence of fish farms in a region near here, in Friuli Venezia Giulia, that are rich of fish farms. Why? because there are a lot of spring water, especially in the past, or water derived from springs, and so rivers. So it's high quality water, suitable for fish farming, trout farming, salmon farming. We see different cases, different episodes of high mortality, not very high, but 5-10%, that happens after significant rain events. Not one in one farm, but like a jeopardized risk. We have the prevalent symptom is anoxia, and no different, no big pathological signs or clinical signs, but gill alteration, and sometimes the gills were covered by something like a gelatinous patina or whatever. In some cases, in this patina, we detect high quantity of coliforms. In 2 cases, there was also a photosensitization with, especially in juveniles, with the lesions referable to sunburn, something like this. This is what you see when you go in a farm, is a river, and you see a lot of fish dead with no specific signs, negative for bacterial or viruses and whatever. The area is this. It is titled to this is the area. You see there is a high reticulus, an high reticule of hydrographic reticulo with springs, high water, usually high water quality. We make an analysis. So we see that the signs, this mortality happens when there was a concentrated period of slurry spreading, manure spreading, following the application of nitrate derivatives. The nitrate derivatives gives you only some periods that you can go to the field and spread the manure. So it's very concentrated for all the activities, agricultural activities. After the spreading, it could be nothing. But if a rainfall event, very concentrated, very high of impact comes after, you see these cases. In the case of 2 photosensitization events, there was also, after detection in the water upstream, the detection of residues of pesticides, mainly pyrethroids and organophosphates, that are obviously toxic for the fish, and they give mortality, especially in the more sensitive, that is the juveniles stage. So I go over just to see what it is using this georeferencing. We see that this is the zone in red, the zone of farms, and just upstream there is an area with a high concentration of livestock, mainly pigs and cattle breeding, and agricultural, so corn, vineyards, and poplars that are highly usually treated with pesticides. So due to this analysis we act with some corrective actions, especially related to the different localization of the farms. And so we make this georeferencing of the most sensitive areas and consequent ban of the spreading of sewage or limitation in non-raining periods. So it has very good action with the agreement with the irrigation consortia and the livestock association to make something like a plan how and when make this spreading of manure in the fields, and also application of specific practice in the agronomic management and the control of crop pests and weeds. So it has something that happens after, but it's a good action of prevention. And now we see some results. We have less of these cases. So this is just to make a study of what happens upstream our area. You see, there are more than 15 cloud farms. So it was an higher impact if it's not controlled. This is the first case, a case that is related and similar, but it comes from humans pollution. And this case is one prototype, but we have interest in at least in this area, in three moments different, also with some legal procedures. And so you see here in the okay, it is a municipal sewage treatment plant that is related to a small town, a small village, 5,000 people, not more. It's very small. That has not a good manutention, and it is not good built or conducted. When it rains, this face farm that is very close and related to the rivers that are coming from from near this municipal sewage treatment plant has pathologies related to gill disease. So this is appears often, not very. When an higher rainfall event appears, also this farm that is very far from, it's 3 kilometers, and is a very big farm that you can see there, a raceway farm, have also problems with the gill disease. So at the end of the story, the activity was to say to the municipality of this village, it is not the same where there are the two farms, take care about your sewage treatment plant. Yes. This is, we have different cases, different way in different times, in different also periods, also with some attorney that called us. Okay. Second case. These are the facts. In a slaughterhouse, rainbow trout from a farm were found positive with the presence of a concentration higher than 2 micrograms per kilo of malachite green. That is usually measured with also the sum of malachite green and leucomalachite. The trout were sized, were sequestered, and not intended for human consumption, as the law is. The competent health authority was activated, and we make analysis on the farm, and we demonstrate the presence of leucomalachite. In some cases, with a concentration below the threshold, but we found leucomalachite in the trouts in the farm. So we make also checks in the area surrounding the company with some sampling on fish material in the waterways that are upstream, and we also detect positivity for leucomalachite. At this point, as the attorney were make an investigation, it's something like a crime story. They make an investigation. They say, okay, the source is out of the company. This is our trout farm. Here you see there are something there are a lot of towns, but are also some industry there, some important industry. Just to to make some note about malachite green, is usually as dye material and anti-fouling, especially in industries that are textile, tanning, metallurgical, also on wood treatments. Animals, as fish, metabolize malachite green in the leucoform. Malachite green is not authorized in use in food producing animals. This is from early years 2000 because it's carcinogenic and genotoxic. At the time of this case, the limit, the reference point for action, that the presence have to be 0, but you know that European Commission fixes some reference point for action that are related to the limit of detection of the substances. It was 2 micrograms kilo, so it's the reason that was the fish are broken, but actually it is less. It is 0.5 micrograms kilo. And this is the overview about malachite green. What our investigation? This is the trout farm. Okay, you see in green there is the trout farm where the fish coming from. There is the 3 points in different streams where the wild fish sampling were made, and also there we have positive samples for malachite green, leucomalachite, and then we have these 2 industries. One is a woodworking industry, and one is a metal processing industry, making chrome plate. So, at the end of the story, the farmer say you are not guilty, but we don't have at the moment a real responsible, a real source from where we can say. But it's just an example what we can do. This was a 6-month work. This is a 6-month work, and so it was not so easy to solve the problem. Okay, thank you. This is an example. Sorry for my English again.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fabris.